guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are at one of my favorite parking lot locations because guess what? We have a vehicle from Volvo that is all new for 2022. This is it. It's a Volvo C40 Recharge. But before we get into this electrified sportback crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here at Volvo. They really made a name for themselves in the early years for ultimate in safety. Well, guess what? They have made a promise to their owners and to people aspiring to own a Volvo that they were going towards the direction of electrification. Now, we've already brought you the Volvo XC40 Recharge, which is that more traditional shaped crossover SUV. This C40 is bringing a lot of that same magic, especially with the dual motors, but bringing you a little bit more of a sporty, sexy design. So what I want to find out is Volvo doing enough with this C40 Recharge to go up against basically the main player, which is going to be that Tesla Model Y, or is Tesla still the way to go in this segment of the electrified crossover SUV? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge and find out. Right off the bat, the styling. Very Volvo-esque, but you could tell it's different from the XC40. When you start at the front of the business, I definitely like the styling of the Volvo way more than the Model Y. The Model Y sort of looks like a weird jelly bean that's been sitting around outside in the sun. This, though, has a lot of nice style to it. You're gonna get that Thor hammer version of their LED daytime running lamp and turn signal, full LED headlights, digging the shape of the headlight housing. You drop down just a little bit of gloss black with some nice design, and then guess what? We got LED fog lamps down below. That's another nice touch to give you the ultimate in illumination in front of you. Now, as we come across what would normally be the front grille area, Volvo has done it so smartly when it comes to the overall shape and design. Of course, you got that Volvo badge, traditional badge in the center with their forward-facing camera located within it. And because we have a liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery pack, of course, we're gonna need some airflow to get to that to help with that cooling process. So you have some functionality in the center here. Love the way they cut out this blue portion. Well, ours is blue, but the body color to let that airflow in. And then on the bottom side of things, you do have this large opening that is flat black to help bring some air for the cooling of that battery pack as well, and the motors, of course. Now, when we get up onto the hood, I like the way how snug the hood fits with the grille, or what would be your grille, that simulated grille. And then nice rise that curves right towards the A-pillars. It's funny because the way that they designed the hood, at first I was like, wow, that kind of looks odd because it looks like the body panels aren't fitting. But if you notice, it goes in perfectly with the rest of that front area. So it really kind of does a better job styling-wise than, say, a Genesis GV70 with their hood. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these super-sized 20-inch wheels, massive machine aluminum areas, gloss black. We do have electric motor up front, electric motor out rear. Compared to the wheels on a Model Y, you got a little bit more variety, but this definitely is the style that Volvo is bringing for a lot of their different models in their lineup, and I like to see this on the C40 Recharge. Now, if you're wondering, well, what's the size of this Pirelli Scorpion Zero tire? You're basically looking at a 235 section, 45 series sidewall, and of course you're gonna get all-wheel drive. I think the one zonk I have is I wish that the fender opening was all painted this beautiful blue. Very nice style to the overall shape of this C40. Now, as we go down the side, you're gonna get power folding side mirrors. Of course, you got your LED turn signals, the two-tone style. Some brands, it looks weird. This one, though, it's really working well, especially because we have a full glass roof. Now, it's not a moon roof or a sunroof where it opens, but you get a full glass roof, so it's obviously all tinted. You got a lot of flat black on the bottom side. I wish they would have done something a little different there, but I'm liking this nice strong indentation. It gives the side of the vehicle a lot of extra depth. Color matched on the door handles, blacked out on the shark fin antenna, and you'll notice that sportback design. Another vehicle that this would go up against is the Audi Q4 e-tron with that overall shape. Coming into the rear, I love the way they work, that rear fender into the rear pillar. And this is what I'm telling you, when you compare it to a Tesla, you're actually getting a lot more style. And I like the way the body panels fit much better. Of course, we got our charge port door at the rear. I'm just gonna plug that right in when you get home or when you're at your charging station. Close that up, we'll talk more about that in a second. And then the back of this Volvo C40 Recharge really is spot on the money. They did a fantastic job with the LED turn signals. Look at the way the LED lighting goes all the way into that roof line. You got a nice hatch spoiler, but that's not just it. Also, coming off the roof onto that rear glass, we have the aerodynamic aids. And what's nice is all of that air blowing over the rear window eliminates the need for a wiper. So we don't have to worry about a rear wiper. You got your prominent Volvo badge, C40 Recharge twin. What does that mean? Does that mean you have a twin, a doppelganger out there in the world? Well, maybe you do, but on this Volvo, it means we have a motor up front, a motor out back, and then down below, nice and simple. A little bit of gloss black. Other than that, simple, clean, digging it. Let's go ahead though, let's pop the hood and see what the heck is underneath with this C40. All right guys, we got the hood popped, and just like the Tesla Model Y, there is a bunch of plastic, but you do get a storage space area. So we lift up this lid, what do we got? We got definitely plenty of room. Not only just for 4 pine cones, you could put even more pine cones in here. I would say about 65 pine cones if you're smart. We got our Volvo wristband. This is for when you're working out at the gym or you're at the beach. But what is the purpose of that storage bin really? Not only for if you're part of the club that likes to hunt for pine cones, there's a club out there where they go to all the different forests, but it's also a place to put the charging cord, because guess what? We got 2 electric motors, one up front, one out back. They produce 402 horsepower, 487 pound-feet of torque. This Volvo C40 Recharge uses a 75 kilowatt per hour lithium-ion battery, 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds, top speed 112 miles per hour, range is about 225 miles. The vehicle weighs 4,750 pounds. It utilizes a DC fast charger. If you're utilizing one of those, 80% charge on the battery in 40 minutes, 85 mpgs in the city, 72 mpgs on the highway. Plus, you're gonna get all of the great safety that you come to know from Volvo with this C40 Recharge. I'm returning these pine cones back to their natural habitat behind us, because obviously I need to put the charging cord in here. But you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's hear what the pedestrian warning sounds like on this C40 Recharge. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Volvo C40 Recharge. Now, the nice thing is it's real easy to order or buy one of these, because there's really only one way to get it. What you're going to have to decide on is what color you want. Comparing that to the Tesla Model Y, the Model Y does give you a little bit more variety of options. But how much is this C40 Recharge twin? You're looking at MSRP of right around $60,000. Let's see how it stacks up against Tesla. To the door panels, I love the clean German Euro styling. Fit and finish is spot on the money. You'll even notice some of that nice textured material at the top portion of the door panel. Something different, something unique. Harman Kardon sound system. And then another thing you'll notice, no gloss black. Now there is this blue felt lining. I'm not really in love with it, but I'm digging it only because our particular Volvo is blue. I hope that if you get like a red Volvo C40, it's a different color. But that door pocket is super large. Not width-wise, but length. You could easily get a 22-inch Swedish fish, one big massive Swedish fish, and just drop it in there, and a bottle of Yoo-hoo to wash it down. Now when you go from the door panel to the dash, I love the way they work the AC vents. Nice soft material. There's more of that textured design, makes it unique. What are you gonna get? You're gonna get that familiar 9-inch vertical infotainment system from Volvo. I do like the way it's cleanly integrated. You got Google Maps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You could pull up all of your dual climate controls. You do have a heated steering wheel and heated seats, but no ventilated seats. So that is gonna be a zonk. You could pull up the rearward facing camera. Nice setup on that. We could even go 360. What's really cool is if you go back to the rear facing camera, you actually see there's a baby alligator in the water in that sewer right there. Kind of freaky. You hit the squares. What does that give us? It gives us lots of icons. We could go into range assistant. You can see all that information. Check on your car status. We're good to go. All 4 corners have proper air. Plus you can see the 2 electric motors. That's pretty cool. And then just to display how many different icons, even YouTube music. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then obviously it brings you right back to home. I'm gonna throw it into reverse. There's that backup camera once again. I wish it took up a little bit more of the screen, and then I'm gonna put it back into park, hit home, and we're right back where we started. I could then go right back to my maps. Let me show you something else. This does have Google Assistant. Watch this. Hey Google, where is the closest charging station?
Here's what I found for electric vehicle charging stations.
So perfect. To handle that range anxiety, you can find out exactly where all the charging stations are, and it tells you whether it's slow or fast or out of service, because that would be a real pain in the behind to go to one and have it be out of service. But there's your screen setup. Work your way down. Very minimalistic on the controls. You got a 12-volt, 2 USB-Cs. You have, of course, wireless charging and a place for 2 electrified Twinkies on both sides. Open this up. You could easily put 5 atomic fireballs in there. Close it up, 2 cup holders. This is going to control that direct drive transmission. A little bit of gloss black, but nothing too crazy. And because Volvo knows you're going to make a mess, they actually give you your own trash can, which is kind of nice. Open it up. I could easily put 3 bags of Swedish fish in there. And if you need more, you could actually remove the garbage can. And say one of your passengers is giving you a headache, just throw the garbage can right at them. Seats. Love the look, the feel, the style. Alcantara, the stitching, electric assist for the passenger and the driver with a manual hammy extension. Look at that. So if you grow a little on a drive, you can actually extend your hamstrings underneath. And then there's that full glass roof I was telling you about. The one thing that I'm a little afraid of, there's no actual shade for it that you actually get with the vehicle. Now, I don't know if you could get one through a parts catalog or something like that, but it would be nice to block that out if you don't want the sun's rays coming in. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you this 12-inch digital display I have behind the Volvo steering wheel in our C40. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You are getting a nice aluminum sill plate with the Recharge name. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. There's the sill plate. Here's the unique blue carpet. The last time I've seen blue carpet like this in floor mats was when I was in my 2006 World Rally Blue WRX STI. All models came with blue interior. You do get your electric seat controls. That lower lumbar is nice. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm swimming in space. Steering wheel, nice thickness. And what's great is you're gonna get flat black on the buttons. It is manual assist on the tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you'll notice on that digital display, you have a plethora of information. Your Google Maps, I could then bring up different information in the center, make it go away real smoothly. Kind of nice to have tons of information all within your fingertips. And then you got your charging and all the other good stuff there. But why don't we go ahead? We've shown what you have to expect up here, including, almost forgot, the Kit Kat holder on each side. That's nice to have to put your Kit Kat there. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, even though I'm not a big fan of them. Let's check out the back seat and see how nice your passengers are going to have it in the C40 Recharge. All right, guys, backseat time. It's interesting because I really think the blue, especially the floor mats, they're already getting dirty. You can see the stains on the back of them. So if you have kids, I don't know how successful that's gonna be to keep that clean. They do give you those pesky cargo nets, which I am gonna zonk. But the good news is, I know we've been talking about Swedish fish. Here in Clearwater, one of the most popular fish to catch is grouper. You could basically put a nice sized grouper in each of the pockets for your grouper sandwich. That's what Clearwater is known for. You do get your 2 rear AC vents styled similarly to what's up front. We also have 2 USB-Cs and heated rear seats. My knees, I don't know, they seem a little high. Do they seem a little high to you? Let me know what you think. It kind of feels, I don't know, a little awkward, but nothing too crazy. It's close, but still I got a little bit of room, just a little bit of room. It is nice to have the glass to give you a bird's eye view forward so you don't feel claustrophobic. This is at a good height and it's a pretty good softness with 2 cup holders, and I do like the similar style to what's up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that back seat area and see in that cargo how much space there is for all your junk. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. Once upon a time, it came down to that if you wanted a hybrid or an EV, you're gonna sacrifice cargo volume, not in the C40. Even with that low sloping roofline and rear glass, you're still gonna be greeted to plenty of cargo space. You'll notice you got the pass-through for longer items if you wanna keep the rear seats up, and then storage nicely done underneath. There's our charging cord and everything. You could put it up front, you could put it in the back, wherever you wanna put it, they give you the option. The only thing that's a zonk is putting the seats down. To do that, I actually have to go to the passenger doors, and then you're gonna push it once, that puts down the headrest, and then you're gonna push it again, and now the seat folds down. The great news is it's nice and flat. So come over to this side, same story. Look at all that space. And this, remember, is a compact crossover SUV. But you know what? Why don't we go ahead? We got 2 motors. We got a little over 400 horsepower. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle and get jolted in our C40. All right, guys, traditional Florida fashion. The skies have opened up, but we're gonna continue the review of the C40 Recharge on throttle. Look at that, traction to the ground, and definitely has the power, even with the road wet. Visibility out the front is great. We can kind of show the wipers doing their thing, but it's kind of nice sometimes to be able to take these vehicles in the rain and be able to really allow you to see what it's like driving them when conditions aren't so perfect. Infotainment system was well within reach and just very smooth. That's one thing I like about the Volvo lineup, especially their electrified lineup, is that they're just very, very tight and well built. But going down the road here, having that 12-inch digital display, nice and large, and the seats are very comfortable and supportive without being too over the top. Probably some of my favorite seats, to be honest with you. I just wish they were ventilated. You're gonna get all your safety features that you want in this C40, and you're getting the sporty style, which is great. But I'm not afraid of losing grip because we have the all-wheel drive, and it just keeps you planted to the ground very nicely. All right, guys, pulling away from this light, we're gonna go on throttle. On throttle. Yeah, look at that. Nice regen braking, good feedback, rolling on throttle. It just gets the power to the ground. It's ridiculous how unassuming this vehicle looks. It really, you know, looks sporty, but the power is very, very substantial. A little over 400 horsepower is nothing to laugh at, and the way that it just gets the power to the ground, nicely balanced, flat, you know, foot, and you are off and running. But the digital display is super clear. I like the way it's got the Google Maps. And then we're gonna go back on throttle here. On throttle, look at this. Wow. And I'm very, very surprised that I thought with the larger 20-inch wheels that the ride might be a little bit more stiff, but it really isn't. It's very comfortable. Brakes work great. Steering is on point. Look at this. And like I said, this is in the rain. I'm able to show you this in the freaking rain. Look at this. This is what makes EVs fun. When you have a bunch of horsepower and all-wheel drive, especially when the road gets slick, you're able to showcase how effectively it gets the power to the ground. And then having the technology aspect in here as well, including the wireless charging and the Google Maps and Google Assistant. Guys, we're gonna get out onto the highway and see how this C40 cruises down the highway. You know, the sound deadening is really nice. There's not any wind noise that I could hear. You are obviously hearing the rain, but that's to be expected. But as we're getting onto the highway here we go, on throttle. You'll be able to merge very easily, and it's got some nice coasting capability as well. That lane keep assist is a nice safety feature. You got the blind spot monitoring, but really a pleasure to drive the distance. The Harman Kardon sound system, and I think even your passengers in the rear are going to enjoy it. And then you got a unique looking vehicle that is well put together and has plenty of power. So let me know what you think about this C40 Recharge Twin. We're gonna get back to where it all started. Hopefully it stops raining and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a great time with this C40 Recharge Twin. Definitely got to thank Volvo USA for allowing Raiti's Rides access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Has Volvo perfected the recipe of what makes a good crossover SUV that's electrified with this sportback, stylish C40? Let me know in the comment section whether you would go Tesla Model Y or this vehicle. But until we meet another day, when we got a little bit more juice in the battery, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Got to give it up to the Energizer Bunny, Lori, with that camera, working it no matter how much juice is left in the tank. Thank you, Lori, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.